So yeah, Ole Miss, huge victory, 7-1. Uh, Oklahoma, I mean, they've had a great year. They're still in that playoff contention, but they're gonna have to come up with some big wins. I mean, obviously they got Alabama on the schedule. LSU's still gonna be a hard one. And they got Missouri. So Oklahoma's got a tough schedule ahead. Ole
Yeah.
Miss looks a little bit better. They've got South Carolina, the Citadel, Florida, and Mississippi State. So, I mean, I really think Mississippi should run the table. Even if they even if they fall to one of those games, honestly, they're just another. I mean, their strength of schedule. I mean, I think the Oklahoma win's going to fare well for them. I think Tulane kind of is a good win. LSU. I mean, they've got some quality wins. Um, don't really have one of those like key victories. Obviously, they've got a great loss in Georgia.
Yeah.
But 10-2, I think probably still gets them in. It'd be hard to believe it. I mean, but every year's different. Obviously Alabama had 3 losses last year, and they were horrendous. Some of them, and they were the first team out of the playoffs. So I mean, it's kind of in my mind. I just imagine 10-2 in the SEC or Big Ten pretty much gets you in. But every year's different, so we don't really know. But you got to feel good if you're Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss about where you're at.
No doubt. I feel like these are those games that have eluded Lane Kiffin in the past. They've always been a solid 8, 9, 10 win team, but it'd be games like this that they couldn't crawl over the hump to get a big, tough road SEC victory like that. So that was one I feel like they had to have. It was tough fought battle, kind of more defensive than normally you'd see from Ole Miss. But that's kind of been the difference with them. I feel like is their defense is probably better this year than it has been. They just don't go score 50, 60 points. I mean, they can score what 34, 34-26 final, and but still put up the numbers. But their defense is making stops when they need to. Trinidad Chambliss, that transfer quarterback, he's been good, man. I mean, he comes up there and pretty much throws for 300 yards a game. Was he 24 for 44, 315 and a touchdown?
Man,
Um, I mean, like he's good. I mean, he's a great fit for that. I mean, he's what Lane Kiffin likes to do. Like I said, yeah, I think the difference has kind of been they're more defensive and getting stops when they need to. But yeah, that was a huge road SEC win for them for sure.
yeah, and Lane Kiffin actually said that post game on the field. He was like, "I'm just glad we won this game defensively. It's great to go out there and let defense win the game." And I agree because that's hasn't necessarily been their mo. They kind of lost games, like you said, 8-4, 9-3. They kind of blow these games defensively, and that was not the case this week versus a good John Mateer, and
No, he's
he's
good.
pretty
Yeah,
much healthy now. So
yeah, yeah.
he didn't have a 223 yards and a touchdown. Just, I mean, 50%, a little over 50% passing completion. So not the best day, but yeah, Ole Miss made the right plays, man.
A big one in this one. We've been talking about time possession. 30 almost 36 minutes having the ball for Ole Miss versus 24
Yep.
minutes. They sustained those drives, milked the clock, got down when they had to. Didn't put up a ton of points in any quarter, but just didn't lay an egg in any quarter. They scored 3 in the third, but held Oklahoma scoreless in the fourth. So that's the difference, like we're talking about defense there. So
Yeah.
that's it, man. I mean, they did what they had to
Yeah, and
do.
Oklahoma 4 of 14 on third down.
Yeah,
And
that's not
and Ole Miss was 9 of 21. So not
yeah.
not great, but I mean they had double the amount of third down conversions, and
Mhm.
they had a lot of those opportunities. So they were, like you said, they were put in those positions to do that and bleed the clock and whatnot. So
Mhm.
that probably got them the victory there. But yeah, we'll
Lane Kiffin, scrappy to the end, even talking trash to the players after the game in his post conference
yeah,
press conference. That's him. So yeah,
man,
he's
he's
always
got a
going
soundbite every weekend.
to. So
But we're gonna go into another game: Texas A&M versus LSU. Man, A&M put it on them, and I mean it was a close game. LSU had the lead at half, and fell apart in the second half, man. I mean, A&M just took advantage of it. And I mean, Marcel Reed, gosh, he's a beast.
Yeah, he's that dude. He 202 passing, two touchdowns, and then another 108 rushing with another two touchdowns. I mean, he's tough. He's not gonna run over people or a big bruiser type runner, but if there's a seam, he's gonna hit it with those long strides. He'll kill you, and he can throw the ball. I mean, the dude's good. I mean, I remember watching him last year against LSU, and they kind of threw him in late, and they started running the read option game. And I think he scored three rushing touchdowns in that game, kind of put him on the map. But in my mind, I was like, well, that's all I can do. He's just kind of like that's going to be the style of offense that they're going to run. But Duke can find they got a couple good wide receivers too. He can sling it. So I mean, they're legit, and then obviously their defense can make stops too. But going into LSU, Death Valley at night, I don't care who you are, who LSU is at the time. That's tough. And to just run the fans out of the stadium. I mean, the place wasn't even 50% full by the time of the end of the game. So I mean, they went they made a statement. I mean, if you're 8-0 and you're playing in the SEC this time of year, they got something going, man. I mean, they're I mean, they're getting hot at the right time, and they're a good team. They're a good team.
Yeah, I mean, another one of those teams that it's like, obviously they've got big goals in mind, SEC championship, top a bye in the playoff, but worst case scenario, I mean, it looks like they're still going to be in the playoff. I mean, like you said, undefeated. They got a couple great wins on their resume. Notre Dame be one of them, and I mean, their schedule looks pretty light coming forward. Obviously, they got to finish at Texas.
They got so they have a bye week this week, then Mizzou, South Carolina, Samford, kind of your cupcake, and then Texas. So you still got some contenders in there, but definitely games I feel like they could win all those games.
Yeah. If anybody hasn't seen it, go look up Kirk Herbstreit's bit on Samford when he was breaking down A&M schedule, and he didn't know what the logo was, and he just called him Sam. it was pretty funny, but he corrected when he posted it, and he gave Samford a shout out. Poor Samford, but it's probably getting him publicity, so they're probably don't care too much. But like you said, I mean, they Texas obviously is that one game on the road, but I mean, again, man, if you're 11-0 going into that game, you got to feel. I mean, you never want to lose a football game, but I mean, you got to feel great about not only playoff but even the SEC championship at that point. I mean, it looks like they are kind of. I mean, you got Alabama, you got A&M, you got Ole Miss, Georgia, and Vanderbilt are kind of those. It's crazy to say, but there's 5 teams right now that are whatever combination you want to put them in are probably going to be the teams in the SEC championship, and then you got a couple of dark horses like Tennessee and Texas and probably a couple others out there. I mean, there's just a lot of teams, right now that it's getting down to the wire, and it's getting kind of muddy.
It's deep. It's a deep conference. I mean, normally always is. No exception this year. And for me, just my take on what they did to LSU last night, that solidified to me. I was kind of on the fence about Texas A&M before watching that game. I was like, oh, they're going to go in there. They're going to slip up. They're not going to keep rolling like this. I mean, LSU's going to get a good one, and it's going to save Brian Kelly's job. I mean, it could have been a situation like that, but they proved to me that they're the real deal. I'm in on them. I think they're the top dog in the SEC right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, me too. And I think, man, A&M versus Alabama would be a great SEC championship matchup. Ty Simpson, Marcel Reed. Gosh, I'm hoping for that. A&M it'd be their first time in the SEC championship. So I mean, I think that would be a fun, probably high scoring matchup to watch. So that's something I'd look forward to.
Yeah.
But, a couple other games to look at. Indiana out of the SEC. Indiana creams UCLA 56-6. Man, they look like they're on fire. You got Oregon, a close one versus Wisconsin, 21-7. Wisconsin played some good defense in that game, but Oregon does get the win. Georgia Tech, 41-16 over Syracuse. I mean, they look like a dominant team out of the ACC. We'll see them, and maybe Miami clash it up, or is the ACC going to be a two bid league? Miami 42-10, BYU beating Iowa State 41-17. I mean 41-27, and then Memphis big upset over South Florida, kind of changes what people's view is on the group of five. Also Texas gets the win 45-38 over Mississippi State. What's your maybe biggest surprise or biggest maybe like a key win that maybe people haven't thought about that I kind of listed that might kind of shape the playoff race?
Yeah, again, BYU, they look strong. I haven't watched a ton of BYU football, to be honest with you, but kind of watching the highlights of that game. They're a pretty complete team. They got their quarterback, Bear Bockheimer, that wears number 47, and he's a big dude. Threw for, I think, over 300 yards. Yeah, Bear Bockheimer threw for 307, ran for 49, 2 passing, 1 rushing. They're a pretty complete team. I mean, they'll be one that's there. I mean, I guess you could argue with them that their schedule may not be very tough. I mean, who they really played? Are they going to be battle tested? If they are a team that goes into the playoff and they face somebody that's a real deal team that's got a lot of depth and something they're not used to seeing. So that'll be a test with them. Indiana continues to impress. I'm kind of, they're ones I was on the fence on too. I mean, I was like, they're going to slip up one week, but third victory this year, I think by 50 plus points.
Yeah.
I don't really care who you're playing. You're beating the crap out of people. So, I mean, it's obviously them and Ohio State in the Big Ten, but they're both good. Texas doing what they got to do to get that win in Starkville. Arch Manning comes up hurt though, concussion. I heard.
Yeah,
So
that'll be
that could be some big news.
yeah.
But
The
they
backup threw a touchdown to
struggled.
win the game. So but one pass.
Yeah,
Went for
the
a
Texas
touchdown.
struggled like they have been against Mississippi State, but and down 10 going into the fourth quarter, but then score 24 in the fourth quarter. So there again, I mean, they're scrappy. They're doing what they got to do when they got to do it. So they'll be there. I mean, like they're not going to go away. But
yeah. And I've got BYU schedule. Actually, 2 weeks from now, looks like they got a bye week this week coming up. But they got Texas Tech.
So they do get a couple ranked.
That's going to be their. Yeah, that's going to be. I think that's going to be a differentiator. That's going to be kind of that game to see. All right, who's the leader of the Big 12? Texas Tech definitely has the better roster. They have more of a comparable roster to a Big 10 or SEC team. They really went out in the portal this year and got some good players. So Texas Tech has a very talented roster. So as far as looking at teams to make the playoff, you'd like to think Texas Tech would probably be the team that would put up the best fight. But BYU's been scrappy, like you said, man. Their quarterback's a dual threat. He's a beast. 47. I mean, who doesn't love a quarterback that wears number 47? Come on. Yeah, but
weird, but I can get behind it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get behind it. Yeah, but yeah, they're going to be tested. I mean, Cincinnati, their quarterback, he's had a really good season. And they've looked great ever since that Nebraska loss. So if BYU does get through this, they are going to be tested, I think, at that point. But that'll be a big matchup. BYU Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a college game day potential there.
And both those teams, you think offense, and which is what they both hang their hat on. But I want to say Texas Tech is one of the top defenses in the nation, and BYU to get that win they just did against Iowa State. They had 3 interceptions in that game, and one of them, one for a pick 6, and one was a very timely interception at the end to kind of seal it. So they play D too. They're not just they're not just offensive teams. I mean, they can be pretty solid.
Yeah, and Texas Tech's got Kansas State, UCF, and West Virginia. So I mean, looks like the BYU game is kind of that might be the matchup in the Big 12 championship is Texas Tech and BYU. So that'd be an interesting one. And I'm going to pull up Texas schedule here. They've got they got a rough schedule, man. Vanderbilt, Georgia on the road, Arkansas,
Yeah.
it's a rivalry, and they're looking to. They've been scrappy, and they're not going to go down without a fight. And then Texas A&M. I mean, man, that is a tough schedule. If they can somehow get around that, obviously it's going to be at the hands of Arch Manning, finally putting it together. And I mean, don't count them out yet. We'll see. We'll see what happens after this weekend. But yeah.
Yeah, all those would be tough. Vandy for sure. I think I saw that the Georgia game, if I saw correctly, I think it's also an early kick for some reason. So that could potentially go into their favor a little bit. No one likes to play in Athens at night between the hedges. That's tough. So I mean, maybe that'll be a little bit of their advantage, but yeah, that's a tough stretch. I mean, you play 3 ranked teams your last 4 games. I mean, if they run that out, yeah, they'll be fine. They deserve to be there. Whether it's I don't see SEC champion just because of their record already having one SEC loss. I think you at least lose to one of those 4 teams.
Yeah.
I'd have to say if you don't, then I'll shut my mouth. You prove me wrong, but that'd be tough. That's a tough stretch for him. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Any other key takeaways?
Man, that's pretty much it. I say overall, just very impressed with Alabama. I mean, I think that was a great win for him, a good, tough, gritty win. And very impressed with Texas A&M. That was a huge win for them. That I think to me catapulted them in a different category. If they went out there and even struggled or lost that game, then you're like, okay, here we go, same old Texas A&M. They're going to lose 3 out of their last 4 or something like that. But I think Alabama and Texas A&M have kind of both risen to they're both the teams to beat. I feel like no one can argue that they look the best overall and are the top 2 teams in the SEC right now.
Yeah, I think you put those 2, and then you got Indiana and Ohio State. I mean, those 4, in my opinion, have kind of separated themselves from the rest. And then you got your second tier with Georgia and Ole Miss and Oregon. And then it kind of goes down from there. I think you got a big second tier. I think the whole rest of the top 10 is kind of second tier, all the way to Vanderbilt and BYU, even and Texas Tech. A lot of those teams are kind of in the same mix, but I think the current top 4 have kind of separated themselves. Is the ones that are playing the best right now. It kind of looks like our national champion might come from, more likely to come from one of those.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be one of those. In years past, you've had probably the top half of the playoff. I mean, especially if it's a 4 team, but now being the 12 team, I think it's going to be a scramble at the end of the committee is going to have a tough time figuring out what's fair and which teams deserve to be in that spot. Because I think there's going to be a pile of 1 and 2 loss teams that could definitely all deserve to be in the top 12. So it's going to be interesting. I think they're going to have a tough time this year for sure.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I think we're going to try to, speaking of the committee, try to have once the polls come out, have a kind of a ranking show that we kind of go over, where we think teams should be ranked and where, after where they are and kind of what the committee got right, what they got wrong. So y'all give me a heads up on what you think about that. And but that'll conclude us for today. We will have a maybe on a couple games like Vanderbilt and Texas, kind of give a preview on some of those games going into this weekend. Obviously Alabama's got the bye, but yeah, we will see you later this week. Ethan, appreciate you coming on, my man.
Thank you, sir. Enjoyed it.
All right. Peace.
Bye.